morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming here today to join us here at Total. With me here today are my colleagues from Total. I have the VP for Corporate Strategy, Ritagia Merish, the VP for Finance, Routine Jure, and I have my colleague here as well, Mohsen Tariq, who is the VP for Business Development. And I am Carol Nenyinam, I'm the VP for Marketing. So today we are here to talk to you about how together we can have a greener future. So our agenda for this meeting is we are just going to give you a brief background and then provide the opportunity. And then we're also going to talk about some challenges and then the support that we hope to bring to SunPower. And then we'll go through the proposal of the acquisition. So first of all, most of you will be wondering, why SunPower? There are so many solar energy companies here, and we could have chosen anyone. But we here at Total felt that SunPower was the best solar energy company we wanted to partner with. Why? Because we feel like the technology that SunPower uses is the best out there. And also, SunPower has the record to be the second largest US solar panel maker. So we feel based on these factors, we decided that SunPower was the best partner we can have for the future. So with a shared opportunity, many will ask, what is this going to bring? All of you here are probably wondering, how is it going to benefit you? So first of all, I'll remind you that my colleagues here would talk so much more on the benefit, but first of all, let me just provide with a brief opportunity for us all here. So we hope to have the first consolidated company of renewable and non-renewable energy in the world. So this is something that here at Total is very dear to us, because at Total we have a goal to be a major player in the solar energy industry. And in the year 2020, we actually have the goal to be a greener company. So for us, this is huge. This is very, very important. And we see the shared opportunity here to be able to move together to work towards this goal. And also, SunPower, we know you're currently number 2, but then from being an alternate player, you can actually move to become the major player in the world and not just in the US. So I would hand over at this point to my colleague Mohsen Tariq, and he would talk more about certain benefits and then certain challenges that the industry is going through currently.
Hi, good morning everyone. I'm Mohsen Tariq, Vice President of Business Development at Total. So you have heard that SunPower has great technology and second largest solar panel maker. And why? It is they are struggling to cope up with the market and the revenues are going down. So we will look at some challenges and then we'll look at some value propositions that Total can bring to the table to SunPower to address those challenges to the SunPower and the solar energy. So I will start with the energy solutions are enormously challenging, and there are 3 major imperatives that need to come together to create the opportunity. So, but in either renewable or non-renewable energy companies lack one of these aspects. So together we come and create that opportunity. So right now, today, the investors are skeptical about the long-term viability of the solar energy. Why? Because the solar energy is mostly dependent on the government subsidies and incentives. So today, the industry as a whole and the SunPower needs a defining moment and a watershed event that sends a strong message across the investors that this industry is not dependent on government subsidies anymore. Another challenge that is specifically faced by SunPower and other solar panel energy companies that the Chinese manufacturers are putting some pricing pressures. They are cheap and more affordable to the consumers, and that's why there is a big pricing pressure on SunPower. The third is that the governments are now taking subsidies back. The example for SunPower is the Italian government, which is 1/3 of the revenue of SunPower's total revenue. So they have just taken their subsidies back. So now we'll move forward and look at what value proposition can we bring. So first of all, you would think that why a fossil fuel company is here. So we believe in an integrated and hybrid future where solar panel and the grid works together in short term and then as the time goes on, it will eat into the conventional energy sources and it becomes the major player. So we are really want to tap early into that market and reap the rewards. Number two, with the Total's balance sheet, we can provide you with the capital injection to finance your project inexpensively and pass that savings on to the consumers and become more affordable and price competitive in the market. Number three, leverage Total's relationship with the governments, such as with the Chilean government, to have big 100 megawatt plus projects and achieve economies of scale and save some money and pass that money onto the consumer and become more price competitive and affordable. Now, we also bring you the better technology and research and development. We have 9,000 square meters of lab space, and we are available in 5 different geographical locations, and we have 6 different labs. So depending on the properties of each different geographic location, you can take advantage of their strengths and come up with the supply chain or the innovation that can create a competitive edge. Also, Total has been working with one of the companies in the solar industry that it has acquired, the Tenasol. And the Tenasol has really taken leverage of these facilities and come up with some cool new technologies that we believe can consolidate with the SunPower's technology to create a competitive edge in the solar industry, which no other solar company has in the market. So to further elaborate some value proposition, I would invite Mrs. Xue to expand on that.
Thank you, Mr. Tariq. Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Ruting Xue, VP of Finance Department of Total. And now I want to talk about 2 more support that Total can provide to you. The first one is the supply chain. Why supply chain? Because SunPower design and manufactures high efficiency solar panels and systems to residential, commercial and utility markets. So it's very important for all of us to provide qualified products and services. And as what SunPower's Vice President of Supply Chain, Mr. Vinitz said, your customers care about what you provide and how you provide. But according to your annual report of 2010, we can figure out that you are facing some problems about that, such as the limited numbers of suppliers, less competition among them, and their limited manufacturing capacity. And all of this can increase the risks of high cost and longer delay of your providing products and services. But good news is, Total can provide some help because we have following stresses. The first one, because we have so many subsidiaries in more than 130 countries, which means we can help you find more qualified supplies. And of course, our stronger financial statement and our large market share can provide more power when we need to negotiate with our suppliers and other stakeholders. And when we're dealing with our daily operations of our supply chain, we always can find some help from our supportive professional teams. And another big problem is the money. And because SunPower is a faster developing company, you need more financial support to keep your operation and to make more innovation. So that's why maybe you need our help in the following segments. The first one is, according to your report, you expected $130 to $150 million investment in the solar cell manufacturing technology and in other projects. And also a significant amount of capital is required to invest in the solar power systems and the plants. And in addition, sometimes solar power needs to prepay some of your raw materials by cash. And of course, even after under other agreements, maybe you can use the letters of credit or other ways to pay for your supplies, which can release your liquidity pressure. They also require more than 50% collateralized and restricted money, I mean cash. And more importantly, in the next 10 years, SunPower need to pay about $750 million back to your investors and your lenders because you have some debt and debentures issued before. Of course, Total can help because we have more than $19 billion cash and more than $76 billion current access to support our liquidity. And we can find more funds based on our good relationship with our financial institutions. And of course, we can find more options and experience to help us to lower our financial cost and our interest rate. For example, usually we can borrow money by a floating rate, but if we can figure out the long-term interest rate will rise faster than we predict, we can modify our interest rate structure by entering into the long-term interest rate swaps. That means we can change our floating rate interest rate to the fixed one to lower our cost. So we have so many reasons why we need each other and how many support we can provide to you. After we know about that, my colleague Ms. Marish will give us more information about our proposal and how many benefits we can provide to from this proposal.
Thank you, Ruti. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ritagya Mehrish, the Vice President of Corporate Strategy at Total. I'm going to quickly summarize what my colleagues have been telling you about what we can do for you. Coming together of SunPower and Total can bring multiple benefits to SunPower. We can provide project financing, technical support, lower interest rate, a shared resource base, and a lot of liquidity support to SunPower to pursue its R&D and technological journey without the burden of finances. More importantly, this deal has to be made, but why now? Well, we at Total believe the time is right. SunPower is currently way ahead of the competition in the market. Out of the multiple customers choosing solar energy to further their business, 7 out of 10 on an average choose to partner with SunPower. So SunPower clearly has very little competition in the market. SunPower solar panels are some of the best in the industry. And over the years, SunPower has developed a very strong resource base across all its functions to succeed as a solar energy provider in the market. In short, SunPower is raring to go from number 2 to number 1. And that is why this is the right time to invest. Investing in this deal right now can propel you to number 1 from number 2, which would otherwise happen in a span of 10 to 20 years from now. Why not do it earlier? Why do it at all? This deal will make SunPower and Total the first consolidated company of renewable and non-renewable energy in the world. SunPower and Total can go from being an alternate energy player to a major energy player in the market. Together, SunPower and Total can move towards a more profitable, more responsible, more sustainable, and a greener future in the market. To achieve that, to achieve this deal and to achieve these benefits, we propose acquiring 75% stake in SunPower. We also offer $1 billion as credit support to help SunPower pursue its goals without a financial burden. And in addition to the financial support, we at Total want to ensure that SunPower's core competence, its decision making, its technical leadership remains with SunPower. So as a part of our proposal, we will give full independence to SunPower's senior executive team to continue to make decisions and to take the strategy forward in the way they see fit. This is our proposal, and I'm sure that after this you would want to talk more about it and want to know more details. But we're happy to answer all your questions, to provide all your details, and we at Total invite you at SunPower to meet with us next week to discuss the details of this proposal and to take things forward. We really look forward to your contribution and your collaboration in making this world a greener place. Thank you. We now open the floor to questions.